Okay, all on the bench today, I've got a Unit & Grant XL, which was the upgraded version of the Unit & Grant. I'm sure everyone remembers the President Grant, the Unit & Grant, and this is the up-spec model of that series. Okay, so what's the main differences between the Unit & Grant and the Unit & Grant XL? First of all, the fascia and the bezel. So the Unit & Grant, if everyone remembers, had a powder-coated silver faceplate with the stenciled controls decals, and this one's gone back to the aluminium mill finish, which in my opinion was a lot better idea. The Unit & Grant, the President Adams, that powder-coated silver was an absolute disaster, I believe. There's so many of them out there that have had so much wear marks, you know, we've all seen it, down to like a yellow powder coating, like a base coat, a primer, which was absolutely disgusting, and nothing better than going back to the normal. Okay, so the Unit & Grant and Unit & Grant XL, what's the main differences? Would be some of the features, the layout. If everyone remembers, we had the 6-pot function versus this layout here, all across the bottom, which is 6 of one, half a dozen the other. I think when it comes to it, you don't use a lot of these features. Once the radio's up and running, you know, apart from the channel selector, you may use the clarifier, the volume, the mic gain you usually preset. These had a pretty good factory design mic gain, and usually run it around 12, 11 o'clock. Had the SWR bridge, the usual features as such. A couple of them, we'll just have a quick listen here so we can hear it. The high-low was a fairly good idea on the audio, and also we'll just turn that down a bit. The bright dim feature. Now the bright dim feature is not working on the meter light because I've replaced the old incandescent globe with a 3-watt LED. So the 3-watt LED doesn't draw enough power for the circuitry to do the bright dim. Okay, so apart from all the features across the front, which I believe was probably a better idea instead of that cluster, as everyone remembers, there's an automatic noise limiter and noise blanker incorporated into one. They still persisted with the CB/PA switch for whatever reason. They kept on going with that. They could have got rid of that from virtually day dot, because over here in Australia, if you ran around with a PA speaker in your car, scaring the absolute bejeebers out of people, you usually get the boys in blue having to chat to you about it. Okay, so yeah, they could have got rid of that. That was an unnecessary feature. The high-low's good. The bright dim was great. You know, so it's got all the basic features of a CB radio. So that's it. That's the Unit & Grant XL. The same board as the Unit & Grant, as in the Unit & Grant, and not the President Grant. So let's remember that the President Grant was an 858 chip, and the Unit & Grant was the MB 8719 chip. There was a transitional chip board in between. I've got one of those in a base station, but basically it's all the same radio. And let's also remember that the base stations and the mobile radios, it's the same board. You're getting the same board. All it was with the base stations, it was bigger, it had a speaker, maybe had an extra meter, had an internal 110 volt or 240 volt power supply. So performance wise, you probably weren't getting anything more between a home base and a mobile radio. In Australia, these radios also came out with a black fascia. I've never seen those radios anywhere in America with a black fascia. So the black one is really good, and all the decals were white, which was quite specky. But receiver wise, great boards, really good ears, really good audio. I know I've just got the standard little mic on him at the moment, little President mic. not running a power mic, but if you ran a power mic or something like that, that wouldn't hurt at all. From back in the day, you know, you can get the new ones now with a bit of echo and everything like that. That doesn't hurt. But yeah, if you can run a bit of a power mic, this is just a standard radio. It hasn't been tweaked or anything like that. I've run it on the test bit, and yeah, it's just a standard everyday radio. Clarifier's not unlocked or anything like that. I may unlock it if I keep it. I'm just got a couple little scratches here and everything like that. You don't see many of these come up in good nick anymore. I sort of missed the boat when it came to CB radio collecting. I've been doing it for about 6-7 years now. 10-15 years ago would have been the ideal time, but yeah, they're getting harder and harder to find. Okay, I hope you like this video. Don't forget, like, subscribe, 73s, all the normal stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, boys.